In a quiet little town in Belgium, the epic battle for honor and glory is about to unfold. Zemst is once again the heart of Europe's biggest curling league. With 29 teams from 8 mighty nations, the competition is heating up on the coldest surface known to man. The stage is set for a historical new chapter. Watch the epic unfolding of the new season. Will the reigning champion dominate the series? Or will N19 rise up and revive old glory? Are the Tigers the dangerous outsiders? Or could it be the desperate housekeepers? We welcome hard-sweeping power from the east, dazzling charm from the north, strategic battle plans from the south, and nerves of steel from the west. We're gonna see devastating duck duels and rock-solid wisdom from Stone Good. We may not have Canada's heroic Homan, Matt's badass Stars and Stripes, or a Swedish Viking princess like Anna. But our league forges its own legends. Meet the magician, Peekaboo Caro, the little general, Gatling Gun Tom, the GOAT, Mustache Man, and don't forget the Walter. We'll express our uncensored opinion. Celebrate only the very best of shots, and seduce you with our sweet voices. Because that is what we do. We simply love curling, and we are devoted to bring this exciting, roaring game out into the world.
What a play!
Good evening, curling fans. Welcome into a Sunday night edition of the Belgian Curling League. We've got a League B matchup going for you tonight. Tsmerig Logsken against Rammsteen, two teams we haven't had on the stream yet in a while.
I think so.
Question mark? Yeah.
I was trying to recall when the last time was we had the Rammsteen on stream. That was, I think, last season. I don't really recall them having on stream first round of the season. And Tsmerig Logsken, they had to be on stream. They were scheduled for December, but we had some Wi-Fi issues at the club, so we had to reschedule a game. But I think this is going to be their first or second game on the stream. At least we haven't had Tsmerig Logsken a whole lot, so this could be one of their first time ever here on Curia TV. The team from Ghent in their new outfits. They have pretty awesome outfits, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty looking forward to it. I think this is going to be one of those matchups where the two teams are pretty even. This could be a coin flip. You know, who knows what's going to happen? I see somebody's already picked the tie in the polls, and that is absolutely a possibility here. You never know what you're going to get. The ice has been running pretty straight and fast, and with these kind of newer, less experienced teams, you never know how they're going to react to it. We've seen some guys who definitely don't put enough handle on their stones, but that actually helps them on this ice because they can actually get around some things that maybe otherwise you wouldn't think would get there. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to have a pretty good matchup tonight.
Yeah, same. And I scouted the Tsmerig Logsken. They played yesterday, Saturday morning, against the Broomies. Broomies is a ladies team plus Rob. Yeah, he's also in that team. I didn't know how he kind of squeezed himself in there, but he helps the team out. They're performing pretty well so far. They won against Tsmerig Logsken, but to be fair, I was kind of impressed how Tsmerig Logsken face it. It's a young team. They haven't been playing curling for over 10 years. I think they started 3 years ago, something in that ballpark. But they had a decent performance, nice sliding, and also in terms of decision making, they showed they understand the game. Of course, they are being coached by Chris van Rosmalen. Chris van Rosmalen, part of the Belgian Curling Federation board, but he's off in Scotland with other Ghent team members of the Ghent Curling Club playing their yearly Scottish tour. I've seen some pictures. It's pretty awesome. I think they are over at Dumfries, Scotland. I recognized the rink over there.
Yeah, I think they were going to play a few there. They're going to bounce around, I think, a couple of different clubs in Scotland. It's a good time for everyone. Chris has been happy because more and more members have been joining the Ghent club. More and more members are now feeling confident enough in their playing ability to go and take this tour. And I think it's great for the sport, especially here in Belgium, getting more players in and helping that Ghent club grow even more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Ghent, they don't have dedicated ice. They play at the Kristalijn, which is just the regular ice hockey rink, and then a couple of nights they get to play late night curling, basically when all the ice skaters are back home sleeping in their beds. Then the curlers come out because we are night animals. Like that's how cool we are of a species, definitely in Ghent. So, but yeah, the club is growing. I think they're close to 30 members, hoping to grow even more. And it's a jubilee year for them. I forgot how long the club has been established, but at least they're celebrating their jubilee year, and they've kind of entered and announced their new branding, their new logo, new jerseys, and they're also looking into new pants. I've seen some pictures. If they would make those pants, that would be best curling pants in Belgium, in the history of Belgian curling by far. So if they're still doubting, there is no reason to doubt. Just buy them. I think for Rammsteen, that's a different story. They are an older team, and they have never made any kind of effort to create some kind of team jersey. John, what do you know about the team Rammsteen here?
Yeah, Rammsteen is in name. They've been around quite a long time, but they've gone through, I don't know how many members. There's so many members of other teams that have started out or began their playing career with Rammsteen. Before it was Rammsteen, it was called...
let's see if you know your...
No, it's not going to come to me. Otherwise, you're going to have 50 seconds of me going, yeah.
No, I'll give you the answer. It's Curl Jam. That was the
That's it. I knew it was a band name pun, but I couldn't remember which one. Yeah, Curl Jam. Our own Frank from Takeout Tigers began with Curl Jam. We know Danielle from Arctic Foxes, previously of the Boo Huskies. She started with them. So they had quite a few people. The lineups have changed over the years, but that it's one of those teams that's kind of stayed together. I mean, the team itself has been around for quite a while. And I think with so many rotating members, you don't get that brand identity. I think they changed the name from Curl Jam to Rammsteen to sort of try to say, okay, we don't have any of the original members anymore. We're a new team. We should come up with something. But then they just haven't really gone that extra step in getting the uniforms. But
I think they changed it indeed when the founding member left the team. That was the older senior player. I'm forgetting names here. Sorry for that. But as he left the team, that was when they decided, okay, let's just reshape the name. But when we had them on stream, they still had Seppe and Martijn in the team. Also, those two players left. So Seppe joined the Grey Ducks, and Martijn, he started off a new team with Peter Meilers and Robert and a couple of other Peters to join a sweep child of mine. Also stay in that kind of band name team.
Band pun name, yes. So, they've got some, while they're kind of a new team, they've got a bunch of new players. They do have a few experienced people. Thomas has been around for a few years. Adrian has been around for a while. Adrian, though, still relatively new to skipping, so it's going to be interesting to see how that affects his decision-making on the ice tonight. He is going up against another inexperienced skip, so that could lead to some interesting things on the ice. Interesting tactics that you might go, well, I wouldn't do that, but let's see how it plays out. It's always fun to see, try different things, go against the book, even if you know why or what you're doing.
Who knows? Maybe they just invent something totally new. Maybe they're just the Fosbury flop kind of thing that we could be super surprised. And then next year over at the Scottish, everybody's saying, we have to do the Rammsteen right now because we're in a situation. If we don't do the Rammsteen, they're going to Tsmerig Logsken, and that's not what we want. And who knows? Could happen. And
I'd be willing to bet your house that it doesn't, but you never know. It's going to be a fun time. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see, where are they at right now? Are they still doing their?
I think they're still doing some
warm-ups. Yeah.
Let's have a look at the league table. It's not up to date, and it is semi-up to date. It has some of the results prior to this weekend, but we had some matches over this weekend. The Broomies are marked 6th, but they won 2 games. They won against Yellow Brick Daltons and against Rammsteen. So the Broomies, they've moved up.
And
to
Tsmerig Logsken, they won 3 matches this weekend.
Correct,
So
correct.
they're sitting on 7 points. That should push them up into second place, still trailing Team Reese, undefeated Team Reese right there. But the top 2 teams go up.
Only one, because
That's right. There's the 2 Bs this season. That's right. Sometimes I still get confused. Yes, we went from 2 Cs to 2 Bs. Yes, and so
so it's going to be a kind of an interesting fight to see who gets to go up. I think Team Reese Broomies is probably one of those games that is marked as the winner of that team is potentially the champion of the group and the team that will go to League A. Team Reese from the United Kingdom. Also, and the Broomies, they have Rob playing for the national team of England. So he's very, very motivated to not allow Owen to win that game. Mentioned that. We know that firsthand. That was an actual quote from Rob. So if Owen would tap in, you are a warned boy. You know what they say about boys who are warned. But yeah, Broomies, solid team here. But then aside from Team Reese and the Broomies, I think Grey Ducks is kind of in there as the third.
Sure, they're always a tough team to watch out for. You know, Tom and Stefan really, carrying that back end of that team. So as they go, so do the Ducks. They had a tie against the Broomies. So that and the loss against Team Reese. So Grey Ducks are going to need some help to claim that top promotion spot. But they're always going to be in the match. They're always going to cause some problems. So it'll be interesting to see how this group plays out. But right now, Reese is looking the strongest. 4 wins. 4 matches, so
definitely. Yeah, if I had to kind of weigh this group, I would say Broomies, Reese, Grey Ducks top tier in the group, and then Gallifran, Jakobjuk mid tier, and I would say the Daltons, Rammsteen, Tsmerig Logsken low tier in the group, something in that area. But I think aside from the Grey Ducks, Broomies, and Reese, I think everything can shuffle around in the other.
Yeah, and while you're looking at the top, you do have to pay attention to the bottom 2 because the bottom 2 teams get relegated down into C. So those bottom tier teams that you were just talking about, they've got to watch out. They don't want to be the bottom 2, so they're going to have some motivation to not finish badly. They want to finish this season strong. We are only about halfway through. Some teams haven't even played matches yet. The Daltons, I think, have played 1 this weekend, but I'm not entirely sure. But they're sitting on there. Rammsteen has played 2, lost 2, but they're still going to try to fight and take the points where they need to.
Definitely. Yeah, and Logsken, they already had 2 wins, so that's kind of a strong entering in the B League. You have to remember they were a League C team last season, also last round, so this is the first time ever they promote to League B, and they're not disappointing. Already 2 wins so far, maybe, who knows, the third tonight, and then all of a sudden they have 6 points. They're sitting safe, comfortable, maybe even kind of poking at those top teams. But maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. I can just see that the Blue Jackets, the Ghent Blue Jackets, are going to the ice. So I'll pop it over back to the booth where John and I will do the final thing we always do prior to any type of game. Maybe you've noticed it already. There is an 8 with my name attached to it and an 8 with John's name attached to it. That was last time I was right. John was wrong, which means John gets to make his prediction first. We had a little bit of introduction about the teams, but that's all just talks and whistles. Now it's really kind of putting our money. And let's see, John, what is your pro advice for the viewers here?
Oh, this is really a tough one. I feel like it could go either way. I think both teams are pretty similar in talent level. Rammsteen doesn't train together as much, and that's probably the only thing that I can really nitpick with them in this matchup. So I think for that, I am going to go with Tsmerig Logsken. I am going to take the Ghent guys, and I feel like, they train together. They're here. They have matching uniforms. There's a bit more of a team cohesion, I feel there, and I think that plays a big part in curling, and so that's why I'm going to go with those guys. Mm-hmm. So they are the yellow.
All right. And to be honest, and in all fairness, I kind of had Tsmerig Logsken in my mind before this, but it's so 50-50 here, and I feel tempted to counterpick because it's always nice to counterpick. And one thing I said to myself, well, if it's a 50-50 scenario and you have the option to counterpick and prove John is actually wrong, then you always have to prove what needs to be proven, which is Hashtag, John, what do you know about curling? So I am going for Rammsteen. They are also entitled to their history, to their legacy, to show the new guys they are still a solid team, even though, maybe it's not showing the last couple of seasons, but Rammsteen played in League A at some point in their career, so they should be able to say we are at least a solid B team. You guys came all the way from C, climbing the ladder, but we are right here with the hammer. Bumping you back down. That's I think that's how things might play out. Although with this game, and I think we talked to Dan from Team Verreken, and he also said things can go all kinds of ways, which is super exciting for a stream.
That's the most important thing for us. We're looking forward to this match going all the way down to the last stone of the last end and having it be absolutely crucial that that last stone is made. So that's what we want. That's the kind of excitement. Don't forget to get your picks in the polls. I can see it now. We've got 3 votes in. Start getting them in there. Somebody is taking a tie. I like that, but I hate it at the same time.
Yeah, but I understand.
But in this type of match, I mean, because these matches can end in a tie, it's a viable thing. So, it's there for a reason.
Yeah, and if you're out there watching Kurdia TV instead of the Scotties, you are right, because Scotties, it's not exciting. Well, it's the group stage, whoever watches the group stage of anything.
Also, it's in between matches.
It's in between matches. Even if you have to doubt between, am I going to watch a replay of the Scottish or this super live thing right here? No doubt about it. Just turn it up and let us know what you think, not just about the game, your prediction, but also about our comments. Sometimes Legend says or kind of misses. We could be wrong. It doesn't happen that often, but apparently it did. And then we had some people say, hey, your mic's not working and that. But I think we can stop the rambling and hop over to the ice as we can see teams getting started right here.
So it looks like Tsmerig Logsken has the hammer. So I will sort that out, get the scoreboard correct.
Yeah, they had a pretty good LSD. I think the first one was close to the pin.
Yeah, it looked like it just carried a few centimeters past. This one carrying into the house. Bert leading things off for Rammsteen. So, excuse me, I got that wrong. Let's see, we've got the skips mic'd up. Let me get the correct skip unmuted. There we go.
Reese immediately going for tough stuff here.
Oh, yeah.
Reese is one of the hardest things in curling. Basically, just needs to be absolute perfect. Otherwise, it is technically not a freeze.
Looking a little bit on the heavy side and a little bit wide. Will that have enough to curl over? Nope, that is going to slip right on by.
Yeah, we had the privilege to kind of check the sheet, the B sheet earlier today when Takeout Tigers played against Team Verreken, and it's fair to say the ice is very, very fast. So we might see teams struggling with kind of good T-line weights here. Especially in the early stages of the game. Although that was what warm-up was for. But that is easier said. And it's always easy to kind of make those comments here at the booth. Just throw it slower, guys, and then... But that's not always that easy.
No, not at all.
It's a subtle art.
This one creeping into the top of the house. Does it get over? Nope, not fully covered, but still brings it into play if you're going to try to play a takeout. Simon with his second stone of this first opening end. The first end. This one feels a bit light. Skip started to jog out there to get it, but stopped. Now he's helping out. We love the skip sweeping. Trying to get this one as deep as they can. Gets it in. That's very close. I think red is second shot.
Yeah, it feels red is. And a lot will happen so far. And meanwhile, John, people might have noticed we have a 3-sheeter here at Curling Club Zemst and 2 other matches going on over on Sheet A and Sheet C. Is there anything you want to say about the lineups of those sheets?
Yeah, League A match over on Sheet A between Team Verreken and Steengoed, which should be a good one. We'll keep our eyes open on that one. And over on Sheet C, we have a League B match between League C match between Steen Snoepers from the Netherlands and Wipe My Ass. Yep. So we will keep you guys up to date on those.
Wipe My Ass with new jerseys there and new trousers.
Yep. I like them.
Double down on the blue.
This one is a little bit wide. Is that going to be also too deep? Skip from Tsmerig Logsken trying to pull that one out, and he does, so carries through the house. Looking to play a tap here. Was coming. Sweepers staying off it. Their pace looks a bit like the stone is a bit fast. This is going to catch the yellow, but I think it's going to push it through.
Yeah, taking out the wrong stone there.
Yeah, just a little bit too much weight there. Needs to. Yeah, like the skip said, it's too hard. That's it.
And a lovely Ghent accent.
Yeah, sometimes I will not understand what they are saying because the accent is a bit heavy, a bit unusual for me. But Pim being a Ghent area or Ghent itself native?
No, not both. I grew up in West Flanders.
It's all the same.
And then, if you say that to somebody living in Ghent, they would crucify you.
Yes, technically that is Oost Flanders or East Flanders, but...
Yeah, we often say, West Flemish people often say that Ghent is our colony, because a lot of people, we study at the University of Ghent, so you hear a lot of West Flemish in Ghent, and then some people stick around.
Going for a takeout here. First proper hit of the night. Nice low sliding form from Nicholas there. Trying to get this one to curl over. It's going to catch it. Does get rid of it. They were kind of maybe hoping to hold the shooter. Maybe even get a double, but still you got to look at it. It's like the hit is the most important thing. Get rid of that first and then worry about what's next.
That was a very clear way to say here, bam, bam.
Needs to be in the house.
Yeah, underneath the surface of the ice. It's harder to take it out like that.
Reaper's indicating 3 or 4. I believe they use 4 for the T line, so they should be okay, but wanting to make sure this one gets down. Just make sure that gets in. I think that's a good stone there. They don't really need to bring it in too deep.
Indeed, blocks a bit the draw path here. Could leave a double though. Yeah, even with the double, the shooter might stick around on the center part.
But they have options with this. If this catches that top at the right part, they could potentially chip out the one in the back, but just a little bit too far outside. Not quite sure why Skip called for the sweep at the end there, but
Yeah, if it curled less, if it was a bit wider, it might have catched the second redstone and the top of the house and then do a double takeout and lose a shooter. So that could have been a nice result there.
Over the tee. Yeah.
it's always fun to watch in this first couple of ends, especially like less experienced teams. How do they adjust to the ice? How do they, say, well, this is hard enough, that's not hard enough?
Krijgen we hem nog in het huis?
Where are the lines? How do they figure that out?
Het huis dan. Ja, zoveel mogelijk, zoveel mogelijk.
This one over curling, but still with the right weight, so they're going to get this into the house. Stays above the tee line.
And already 3 redstones in the house.
Leaves a hit and roll, so I think that is likely what they're going to go for.
Yep. Come on! Yep, yep!
Really calling for this one. Maybe a chip off that top one. No, he does. He gets the chip and the hit and the roll. So
Yeah, that was a, let's say, a nice plan. What would it be? C? D?
Yeah.
But
yes,
it worked.
It worked, yeah.
Definitely worked. And suddenly they are sitting shut right now.
Zien bij hun een take-out, die bleef recht doorgaan.
Doesn't get fully buried, but hey, that still brings that red one into play. So yeah, smiles of fortune there.
We kunnen hem in de hoek geraken dat hij niet schuin wegschiet. Maar hij mag niet op onze woorden. Dus.
Just taking a quick peek over on sheet C, I am seeing an absurd number of stones in the house over there. Early on the release, but seems to be going all right. Called him off the sweep. They don't listen. This one's going to be a bit outside. Catches yellow, though, and peels it off. Shooter rolls out the side, but right now, with Rammsteen having 2 stones in the house, that's all they need to worry about. That'd be a nice steal. Going to put some pressure on Tsmerig Logsken to get something in there and get it buried.
Ga kijken van daar, welke kant.
And Quinton is going to check from the hack side to see how they want to make the draw here. Draw was the option.
Yeah, I think you have to come from that that right side as we're looking at it here. It's just the stone on the back is on that, sticking out the right side. It's not curling a huge amount, so you'll get over curl really from the other side.
We gaan hem proberen lijn. Ready?
Well, not happy with this one. Feel like it might be quite wide and a little bit heavy.
Definitely heavy, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's just not going to have enough time to move over. It's starting to curl, but
It just kept
just
not enough
just a
to
tick.
move it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit too much.
Yeah, I think if you're Rammsteen, yeah, you want to try to draw on something behind, but they've got the option of a tap too. You know, if it's too tight and taps that one back, that's also okay. They just definitely don't want to leave an open hit. Sweepers indicating might be a little bit heavy.
Definitely wide though. I don't know if it will curl enough to really get buried behind a redstone.
Nope.
If it's wide, then you want to try and avoid a good nose-hit takeout here.
Nope. Hate to say it, Adrian, but that is too far.
So they have a nose-hit takeout. He even can roll a bit to the center. So...
Ooh, are they going to play the draw? I think even if they want to play the draw, they need to come around this side, because if it's a little bit wide, they'll still get a little chip, probably get the roll. But looks like... Let's see what Quentin does. All right, going for the hit. I like that.
They really want to have a nose hit here. A little roll to the center is not the worst.
This is looking good. No, should be fine, although they do want to sweep that just to make sure. Oh, it did roll over enough. Is it a bit?
Safe.
That is a good shot there.
Yeah, excellent here. Tsmerig Logsken, they take the point. They were kind of forced to one. So in that regard, Rammsteen played a good end here. But Tsmerig Logsken put their one on the board. And number one, and interesting. Still hard to predict at this stage.
Yeah, they're both feeling out the lines, trying to figure out, okay, how much is it curling? And I think with the inexperienced skips, you're going to see that, yeah, they probably saw a little bit of curl, or a little bit more curl during the warm-ups, because the pebble was still fresh, but now they've had like 2 warm-up sessions on it and a full end. Things are going to start changing a little bit. It'll get faster. There'll be less curl. So I'm going to see how they adjust to it. As Simon will be starting things off here for Tsmerig Logsken as they lead at 1-0 over Rammsteen. We start end number 2. Yep. Calling for sweep. Nobody doing anything about it till the second time because they just wanted to make sure they heard him correctly.
Yeah.
This one is going to come down. I think that's going to carry into the house. It's just in.
Makes a big difference strategy-wise whether this stone is in or out. Because now, since it's in, Rammsteen can decide to take it out. But will they?
Yeah, they're not. They're going to leave it there. And it's not bad because I think where it's biting the house, they don't get their own stone in. They might end up leaving a center guard, which they don't want as the hammer team.
Yeah, the idea is, well, if you roll to the side, you can have a takeout and have your corner guards. But yeah, they're going for the corner guard anyway. Bert Boven, former Daddy School player, still wearing the Daddy's tricolor jersey.
To be fair, those jackets are warm, so...
Yeah, they're very good, that's true. And the Daddy School, they kind of scattered around. I think Bert went to Rammsteen. Then 3 Peters formed their own team with Suip Schaldermijn. Tom Goethals has joined Team Vreken, playing here on the A sheet. And Mats is playing with Brewers Ducks in League A.
Yeah, I like that. Another Another guard right there in the middle. Start covering up that path to the button.
Bill!
Very light touch on the handle.
Yep! Yep!
Starting to come back into the middle. Sweeper's trying to bring it down.
This could work.
Yep!
And yeah, I think that's going to get in behind that other yellow. That's going to be nice. Try to get that buried as much as you can, halfway. I like that.
Yes. Half exposed, but sets up a kind of half decent setup of a game. Like the center guard and then the stone behind it. It's not that far off from that build-up.
So Adrian calling for a takeout. It is pretty close, so there is a double there.
Bit unstable on the sliding there. I think he pushed it inside here.
Yeah, he's not always the most comfortable with takeouts. But this one a little bit outside. Hopefully it's going to catch something. It's going to pick off the top.
Oh, almost
That's
second one.
Almost, but hey, not still takes care of one of them, which is important. If you're going to aim for a takeout, get rid of something. Hopefully the other team.
Yeah, he also confirmed that was a bit unstable during the sliding, and then anything can happen if you can't really find a good stable position. A lefty here, Nicolas, joining the all left team.
Next! Oh!
I'm just kind of hanging out wide, not really.
Yeah, if they sweep it, they might get it buried behind, but they're just
No, actually, I don't think they would. It's got a mini Swedish curl there.
Yeah.
Does leave a double, but they will have to be a little bit off nose, a little bit on that outside there to get rid of it. Not too far. Don't want the shooter rolling away. Calling the sweepers off of it. Now he's putting it back on. This one's trying to hold it just a little bit off nose. Unfortunately, that's going to catch it right on, and it slides right by us. Thank you, Adrian, protecting the hack.
The removable hacks.
That nobody removes. Even the ice makers don't remove them
No.
when they're making the ice.
Yeah, scared to fill up the little holes with new ice, and then you don't have any removable hacks anymore. You just have plain ice.
Hetzelfde halt, tik daar weg. Hetzelfde halt, ligt daar dingen.
Quentin playing for the steal here, so going for a guard. Maybe a little bit of advice, like if it's too hard, we're okay, it'll tap that, but this one is outside.
Also in the heavy side.
Yep. Probably a good thing then that it is so far outside. Adrian sweeping that just to make sure that goes all the way through, and it does.
Like Reken scored 3 on their first end.
Yes, we can throw up the ticker. Get those scores up to date from the first ends on the other sheets. Varakely staying good 3-0. Here we're at 1-0 for Tsmerig Logsken. And Stain Snoopers with a 1-0 lead over Wipe My Ass. This one is wide. This one's not. Yep, it's going to fly right on by.
And now Tsmerig Logsken, they have a couple of options here. Can they punish those missed takeouts from Rammsteen? Question mark.
Niet zitten om op rood te spelen, iets harder. Maar wel langs deze kant.
Yeah, the best place to discuss tactical options is kind of halfway the sheet for the Kent team. They're going to try and take out reds.
Yeah, I think their best bet would be kind of set the broom somewhere here. Because that way it'll curl over and catch that red. It's unless he's super wide or too heavy. That's also an issue. But I like that call. Good weight there. Feels like he pushed that one a little bit outside.
Yeah, indeed.
Ja, doe maar. Ho, up.
Is there a good plan B? That's with some weight, maybe the second stone and house could help. They're sweeping for...
Sweeping to keep it away from the yellow. Good call from Quinton.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
recognize that there was a problem. And instead of making it worse, make sure that it doesn't touch their yellow stone.
Yeah, I like how that kind of stuff is already in their system. Like, okay, if it's white, you don't just give up like, okay, too bad. You know what to do next.
Dat is ongeveer.
Smells like somebody has a hamburger in here.
A hamburger?
I don't know. Something smells... Somebody's eating something and it smells good.
If you die of a heart attack in the next 5 minutes, those will be your famous last words on stream.
Sure.
I smell bacon.
It's like,
I hear an ambulance.
is somebody burning toast? Apparently, if you smell burnt toast, you're having a stroke. It's a sign of a stroke, so it's not burnt toast, fortunately. Oh, this one also flying by a little bit wide. Maybe distracted by the smell of the something delicious food here in the cafeteria, canteen.
Yeah, earlier on, they were having McDonald's, I think. Team from Begeleiding, so that's the kind of sports venue we are. Sponsored by Pizza Joints. Ooh, this curling hard right now.
A little bit light there.
Stop.
Calls them off it. Yeah, that's going to overcurl. But that's going to come into the house.
Yes.
Second shot.
Interesting. You know, not the call they wanted, but not the stone they wanted, but that's what they got. And although there's a double there now.
Yeah, but with the amount of missed takeouts here, I mean, we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out.
Now, I do find it interesting that Dries is throwing third stones. He is technically the newest curler on the team. He's not been playing very long. But this one coming in, this one looks like it's going to do something good. Gets rid of the yellow. Sit shot, rolls a little bit outside. Nice stone from Dries. Proving me wrong that just because he's the new guy. Oops, wrong one.
Minder.
So that yellow in the back is sitting second shot, so a nose hit here, even a little bit of a roll can get them front two.
Moet hem tikken en erachter. Ready?
Hit and roll is the call here.
Ja, ze snel, godverdomme.
Oh, swear jar.
That's it. Yeah.
This one he feels is too fast. Yeah, it's going to catch a little bit on the side. It will catch that red, but...
Is there a jam on the yellow one? Oh,
no, curled over enough. Gets over on the nose. No, yeah, he felt like it was too fast. Maybe didn't have a chance of getting over, but...
Didn't add the roll, but other than that, I think it was still a decent takeout, to be honest. So,
yeah. I didn't feel like it was fast out of his hand at all, but, you know... That's how you know they're starting to get into it. They're starting to be critical of their own shots instead of saying, hey, yay, I got it down past the hog. It's like, oh, it's too fast or it's not where I wanted it to be.
And again, Rammsteen, they have options, but they could also allow Tsmerig Logsken to score a couple of points if they don't kind of succeed in defending their red stone here.
It's hard to be conclusive, but it looks like a nose hit on that yellow wouldn't leave them in shot position. So that's definitely something they have to think about as well. I think that's what they were looking at. It's like, well, there's an angle there for a double takeout if they want. Feels a bit wide, trying to sweep it. Maybe they want to keep it wide for that angle, but I think it's going to be too much outside.
Yeah, mistake out again.
And chips it over, but actually slides it over the top.
Yeah, it stays in, which means open takeout here for Tsmerig Logsken to take out that last red stone. Yeah, they need to get it out if they want to bring in those other stones in the shot position here.
Nose hit would be ideal. I don't like the going for a draw.
Yeah, if it's gone, then basically Rammsteen doesn't have that much to play with. They can kind of come around their own corner guard, but they have to stay in a shot position to force Tsmerig Logsken to try something. But like taking out reds is giving them a lot of options to score, but they're going for a draw. They're trying to come around here.
I don't like this call. I would want them to take away that red so that they can't score. They have no opportunity. Rammsteen has no opportunity to score 2.
The ideal thing to do is just take it out over on the right side and then roll to the side to even block off the possibility.
Come over this and possibly roll over there.
Yeah, because if your stone ends up there, then even Rammsteen cannot make use of that corner guard.
It's Mender. Ready?
One feels also on the light side.
Worst case is just
they don't want
to of the redstone and then having troubles to get rid of reds.
Well, no, this is last stone. This is their last stone.
Oh, this is their last stone?
Makes no sense at all. They ran the risk there of actually... Yeah, there's a swear jar. You deserve that. We're going to make you pay money for that. Because I think that was always the risk. If it was a little bit heavier and it was inside, then it would tap it inside of the yellow. They're looking at, like, they feel like that red up top is shot, but it's not. It's second shot. So if they take out this yellow in the back, if they
that's how they can score 2.
Get this one, yeah, they can get 2. So
Okay. Ja, dan moet hij wegpakken. Ja, niet zo.
Ooh, steady there. This one a bit outside. Is that going to chip off their own? It does, and it takes out their own. Oh my God, that is a disaster.
How on earth? How can you predict this kind of outcome?
I would not have seen that coming. So
is it a seal of Three?
It's two for sure.
Two for sure, maybe three.
No, we can't see from that one.
No, we'll have to wait and see what they do. But
They're
Yeah,
kicking it away. I didn't see that happening at all.
no, I mean we promised unpredictable surprises with Logsken playing against Rammsteen, but this for sure was one of these. How on earth did we end up in this situation here?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like Tsmerig Logsken made a mistake by not playing the takeout, and then leaving Rammsteen with an option of scoring two, and
Yeah.
Rammsteen giving it right back, being a little bit outside on their hits, and suddenly taking out all of theirs. So certainly a steal of two for Tsmerig Logsken, possibly three. We'll see what number they put up there.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh, they grabbed a big number.
Oh,
That's
that's a
three. Oof.
so it was basically an open takeout, which didn't have to be that hard. Just a small tap was enough for
Yep.
two. But instead of scoring two, you give up three just like that. That's
Yeah, so Tsmerig Logsken with the 4-0 lead heading into the third after that big steal of three. And probably more better to call that a giveaway than a steal. But either way, points go on the yellow side of the scoreboard. Oh, I'm seeing the Wipe My Ass fan base waving their flags.
Ja,
They've just ended. Oh, and this one gets hogged, unfortunately.
Tsmerig Logsken. They know they have a 4-point lead, so they have a tactical way of keeping the house wide open. Yeah, question for Rammsteen is, can they reset their focus? I mean, the game is still in its early stages, just 2 ends, 6 to go. No reason to panic.
Steingood gets one back in the second. They still trail Vareka 3-1. Tsmerig Logsken leading here 4-0. And Wipe My Ass scoring two in the second to take a 2-1 lead over Stain Snoopers. This one feeling heavy as it comes down, definitely coming into the house. Past the tee. Quinton going to try to sweep this as deep as he can, but that's actually slowing down. That will stay in the house. I'm assuming he said Liga
Yeah.
to let it sit here, but he's kind of swallowing a lot of the letters, so. Sweeper is working this one hard, feels a little bit on the light side. Wanting to try to get this down at least into the house. It is going to get there, but it is going to over curl a bit. Still stays above, but quite high, so... Opportunity for Rammsteen to get rid of it. Roll over to the other side of the house. If they're going to be in the house, a good split house is ideal for them right now.
Hier op de Endo.
Looking at the current results on the poll, Tsmerig Logsken with 50% of the votes. Rammsteen with 40% and a tie for 10%.
Niks. Komt goed,
This one looking pretty good. It's going to catch it over. There it is, right where he asked for it. Gets a little bit of a roll.
Yeah, decent takeout here from Bert.
Yep.
So very happy about that one.
Yep. Ecstatic. Nicholas looking for a hit here of his own, possibly a double. Ooh, already calling for the sweep. Feels like it's a little bit tight. And that one is going to just carry over the nose, gets rid of the one, and slides to the side of the house, which is not a bad position for it.
Well, it's in the house. That's important.
All right, yeah, they don't have the hammer, so they would have preferred that to roll inside, but still some work for Rammsteen if they wanted to get rid of it and roll to a position. Obviously, opting to leave it alone and just kind of draw in. Try to protect that stone in the back. Trying to get some information from the sweepers. They're not really providing it.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to figure out, am I still going for plan A or am I reverting to plan B? That's something you want to know as soon as possible. As a kid, you kind of have a sense, but you just want to get that information from your sweepers as well, kind of throw it all out there, the information.
Yeah, I think Adrian was wondering, is that going to stay outside and would it chip off the yellow, or, you know, so he was trying to figure out how deep is it, how heavy, what do we have to do?
Kan iets naar binnen zetten. Ga een beetje meer naar binnen zetten.
Sweeper's working this down. It's going to miss the top one, but it is going to catch the one in the back and stay in the house. So not the result they were looking for, but a pretty satisfying miss there.
Yep.
I think just a little bit, not enough ice. He was way inside on that because he's expecting him to throw a little bit out, and it just stayed a little bit in, so I believe red is still shot, so I'm not going to bother with that yellow in the back of the house. No need to yet. One feels a bit on the heavy side. They don't really want to tap their own. Gets a little bit of a chip. Rolls over. Not a disaster, but definitely not what they were playing for there.
Daar ligt hij tegen.
Oh, he's playing the wrong color stone.
Oh, yeah.
No worries, no worries. No, guys. Oh, they don't know the rules there.
You can just play it and then replace it afterwards.
Yep. You just...
Yeah. But I think the other team is going to be kind of show sportsmanship and say, well, you're just going to throw it again. That's up to them, of course. But,
Yep.
I think in our league... Yeah, they know it's being taped and streamed, so this will go down in the history of curling
on television. But it's a good learning moment. You often don't learn those types of rules until they happen. So they'll have it in there. We'll be able to kind of let them know after the match, like, hey, you just play the stone as it was, and then you just
swap them out,
you just swap them out at the end. This one wide, that's going to catch their own. but it is going to roll into the middle. So how far is that going to go? Right over the top of the Reds.
Interesting. That's very interesting to roll right there. And all of a sudden, that's it's not shot, but it's sitting in a very annoying position here for Rammsteen because, yeah, they want to score. Obviously, they want to score 2 or more. They are trailing 4 points. They want to score a couple of points, so they want to take it out. There is room. There are options to take it out, but there is also a chance that they
catch their own. Yeah,
that they catch their own, that they do some damage. Can't rule out that option. He's looking at it. Yeah, small tap.
Keep playing Tikske.
Yeah. Just imagine the mouse and then the mouse having a baby and that maybe having a little doll and that doll kind of pinching its fingers. Well, that's the amount of small...
Sweepers think weight seems to be okay. Wanting this one to curl over so it gets over. This one's not going to curl enough. It's going to just tap on their own red and settle in.
Ooh, this leaves a double takeout, I think, if you catch the redstone, like a nose hit on the redstone.
Sit on the red and suddenly you're sitting with 3.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. Wave goodbye. That's a good thing. I like this call.
Yeah, I like how...
Start takeout of our backline.
Discussing the weight here, making sure they're on the same page in terms of weight, opting for backline.
I like this. That should move the stones enough. And there's a little bit more room for error.
Needs to find center line here.
En moet veel vallen.
Oh, I don't know if it's going to curl that much, though.
Don't think it will.
Yeah.
Don't think it will. That's a swear jar. I feel like this is not going to be the last swear jar we hear in this.
No, it's not a cheap evening for Quinten.
But there is no problem. Rammsteen, they can do the job for you because they're going for a takeout as well, getting rid of the Yellowstone here.
Oh, that's a bold call. I don't know if I like that one.
Well, as a viewer watching the stone, ooh, it's inside. This is inside.
Oh, if anything, I think you just let it go. Oh, it's too light as well.
Yeah. So still an option here for... Well, the call was a takeout and the stone is a guard, so a bit light on the weight there.
Yep.
And now Tsmerig Logsken going to try it again. Can Quinten do what Janus was not able to do? Ergo, throwing a double takeout here.
Yeah. This would be another teachable moment for Tsmerig Logsken. Teach the leads, the sweepers, get the stone ready for your skip. Just save a little time, little focus. It's just those little things. Yep. You don't have to clean it for him, but nice having it there.
I don't mind a little bit of a cleaning as well.
Oh, I don't mind if they do it, but it's not necessary. Like when Frank and Andres put my stone out, even if they've cleaned it, it's my routine to go through and sweep it themselves. Clean it some more myself. This one curling over.
This could work. Even if
it's going to get rid of the one. A chip off the yellow might not be the worst thing, but it is. Oh, too much. That really just fell over.
And they were late on the line call here. A bit late on the line call. I think it could have worked if they kind of swept it all the way. As soon as you kind of spot the curl there, you want to keep it straight. Options here for Rammsteen to come back, because all of a sudden they are sitting 2, but that Yellowstone in the back is a bit easy to remove maybe. Going for a guard.
Oh, actually, red is lying 3 at the moment.
Yeah, indeed.
Minder.
Yeah, if they're lying 3, I can imagine why they would guard up. Don't be too greedy. And they get themselves back into the game with 3 or 4 stones and end number 3. It's a question for Adrian. Adrian sliding with jeans because
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, I asked about it, like what's with the jeans. Yeah, I wanted to mic him up, but I said I'm gonna wait until you have your curling clothes on, and then he said, "But these are my curling clothes," and he was just referring to the pants because I said, "Well, but they're jeans." He said, "Yeah, I forgot my curling pants at home."
Well, one of the guys from the Daltons and the Curling Stones, Xavier, he wears jeans as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes the guys from Curling Stones, you don't know they're ready to go out on the ice because it's whatever they wear in the club is what they're going to go out on the ice with. This one coming down onto the center and takes away that rough angle. So there's
Quinten immediately looking at that gap. He can still squeeze a stone in there and catch part of their red, but then yeah, you don't have to steal if it's a good damage control. They have a 4-point lead. Good work.
If they can get over onto the nose, and that'll take out 2.
Aan de kust. Hij mocht de teel in. Als ik hem genoeg schenen.
Really depends on the weight he's throwing here. With that much ice, he's probably throwing back line. Anything harder, and he's not going to catch that top red at all.
Ready?
Sweeper staying off it. Doesn't look too bad. Now they're going. Trying to make sure this one gets around that guard, which I think it's going to. Is that going to get enough on the nose? I don't think so. Gets it over. And that's another swear jar. Man, this is a very expensive night for Quinten.
The best of swears I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one in a long time.
Do you know the comic books of Tintin?
Yeah.
And do you know Captain Haddock?
I'm not super familiar with them, no. No.
Well, it's in that kind of area of swearing.
Welk is ten eerste van hen? Ja.
Opportunity here for Rammsteen to get a 3rd one on the board.
Unless let's remember last end.
That is true. They have that backing with that yellow, so a tap there.
And this looks fine. Starting to grow real nice. Maybe a bit too much though. Did they? Well, it doesn't have the weight, so they should be fine. Coming in real nice, and it'll settle in the 8 foot. 4 foot even.
4 foot, so
now it's
for sure 2. That we know.
I think might be 3. Although, we'll have to wait again. They've probably figured it out, keeping us in suspense. But even though 2 is nice, and
3 is better, and they're throwing up the 3, so
4 to 3. They kind of erased that little slip up earlier on.
yeah, Tsmerig Logsken with a couple of misses on some takeouts there could have given themselves a big lead. Rammsteen kind of sticking with it. So as we head into the 4th, Bert will be leading things off for Rammsteen as they trail Tsmerig Logsken 4-3. Still early days. Anything can happen. Both teams trading 3s and back-to-back ends. So we could see like a 15-14 scoreline at the end. One team can get hot and suddenly just blow up the scoreboard and shake hands early. This one as close to the house as possible. Not going to get on that center line, but he's a very polite skip.
Yeah, that's true. And meanwhile, over on She-Day, we have Steengoed playing against Team Vreken.
I have a score update in a moment. This one comes down. This one's actually going to squeeze around behind that. Can they get that one fully buried?
This is perfection.
That is great.
To be fair, shot of the match for me so far, just by how gentle this one rolled around the guard and settled real nice in front of the D line. This is what you want to see. Even in League A, this is a very good stone. And sending a message there to the opponents. This is something we can do.
Yeah.
Maybe not every time, but we can do if we want to.
See the scores flashing through here. White Mass stealing another one from Stain Snoopers to lead 3-1 in the fourth.
Bert not really kind of finishing his sliding, kind of trying to stand up halfway the slide.
Yeah, trying to run this one back. This one hits on the nose, catches it.
Ooh, nice.
Gets rid of the yellow. Run back stone goes away as well.
Yeah, great stone here from Bert.
Yep, very nice. Adrian not wanting to have to deal with that stone in the house later, so saying let's get rid of it now. Feeling a bit on the lighter side. Quentin getting out there trying to sweep. We love to see the skip sweep. And swear as well, because it's so nice to have that swear jar just building up.
The swears, they're coming from the heart. That's how swears should be. Like, there's nothing fake about those swears.
Going to play a tap back. Yeah, Thomas also like with a really short slide, just barely past the house. This one, unfortunately, a little bit wide.
And heavy as well.
Yep, that is going to just slide by. Now, will it stop in the house? No, I think Quentin is going to help that get as deep as we can.
And
not
John
quite through.
Was.
I was wrong. A little bit of an S curve there, slides to the right and then pulls it back to the left. Did he pull it back too much? Feels a bit wide and a little bit hard. Oh, he caught himself.
Yeah.
He caught himself.
I think if we get to 10 swears in this game, I feel a compilation coming.
I need to put another button on my my tablet. That's just to mark the swears, so I have the time to go back and look at them.
Snelheid. Veel vallers, hè.
Indicating they think it's T-line, but feels a bit heavier than that.
Pieter Snelheid.
Is wide. Once it starts to curl, it does move over, but yeah, it's just not a huge amount. That's going to go in the back, leave some more backing for...
It's one of those ends where, like, the first team that finds that sweet spot on the pin in front of the T-line gets this huge advantage here. Logsken was able to do it with their first stone. But then Rammsteen did a good race, takeout. Feels heavy, this one.
Is that going to curl over and maybe tap one out? Nope. I think that is going to just chip it and jam, and there goes the shooter.
Okay, it's okay. Mag ook ervoor, hè? Mag ook hier.
Lots of options here. Above the house is okay. Behind those guards is good. Anything above the T line.
This might be inside. Depends on the weight.
Vegen, 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 vegen. Come on.
Doing a line call here.
Yeah, that one is going to start
Yeah.
to curl. Feels light though.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think the weight was okay, but it was just way inside as of the release here. Indeed, a bit on the light side. They wanted really in the front of the house. Would have ended up as a guard anyway. And another attempt at drawing to the pin.
Hoe
I
aan
think-
het huis?
Quentin figured out, maybe that in front of the house wasn't that dumb. Maybe that works.
Wil.
Mine looks all right.
Dirk, hè?
Oh, except if they're trying to get that behind everything, then that's not
Next.
going to be the place they want it. It's going to stick out a little bit.
Oh, this has a nice finish to
Oh,
it.
there it goes.
Oh,
Yeah,
they can
that's
sweep it
starting
even.
rocker.
Sweep
Yeah,
it.
sweep it in, guys. Let it
Yeah.
get deep.
Oh man, if they just could have kind of swept it and buried it, it would have been a super strong stone. Now it's kind of half exposed. Something Rammsteen could have a shot at. Possibly, yeah, but you felt like, oh, this is something you could just finish off, polish to make it shine.
Yeah, I would have loved that even more because they had the room above the T line. They could have just swept it, and even if it carried another 30 to 50 centimeters, it's still staying above the T line, and it would be more buried. Adrian sees it, says, "Okay, we're going to try to draw in behind it."
Yeah, because even if you get it closer to the pin, it makes the kind of draw for your opponent harder. The scoring area is more narrow. Now the forefoot is still open. Could be tight around the guards, depending on the weight here.
Oh. Oh.
It's fine.
Oh. Vegen, 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 vegen. Vol hem bak, vol hem bak. Vol hem bak, blijven vegen.
Although,
Blijven
Although-
vegen tot op het einde.
That is going to get around the guard, but it's going to get on and tap it back.
Nee, daar mogen we niet op vegen.
This works for Tsmerig Logsken all of a sudden. They have their stone kind of sitting there with the redstone in front of it, and now it's... well, they have the hammer though. They have the hammer, but they're going to protect it and see if they could just draw for a second one later. Again, just full 8 foots with the last stone could be good enough.
Yep. Yep.
But protecting the redstone, forcing your opponents to try something hard.
I like this. I like this call. Yeah. They've got time. They'll have the last stone. Right now, they just need to get inside cover this up, and that the last stone, get something inside the 8 foot, and yeah. This is very wide, though, and very light. Quinton getting out there. As much as we love to see the skip sweeping, is this going to curl over enough? Well, first, let's get it into play.
It's over. It's super useful, but it's not. It's hogged. And a little bit of a square jar makes more, but it makes such a difference. If it's just slightly harder, it's over the hog line, and then Rammsteen, they cannot kind of reach their redstone to get to yellow. Although they still think they have a hard time.
They do have, you know, coming up here, trying to get in on that one.
Yeah, that could work. It's not. It's although yeah, the angle is a bit awkward there.
We have the overhead. They don't need it to stick. They don't need that run back stone to stick. As long as if it hits on the side here, it goes out.
Yeah, but the hardest part is finding the right angle because there's this redstone just sitting in front of it. It could work. It's not, but then the angle has to be perfect. Angle has to be perfect anyway. Let's see what they're going for. It looks like they're going for red onto yellow.
Nose hit there. Is that even possible? So, wanting to come around, get on this nose here, run it back, and then this goes away, but I don't know. I don't know that that's going to go where they think it is. If it's even possible to get onto the nose.
Op de rand van het geel. Oh, het goud.
He said, put it on the edge of yellow, and then Thomas says, but it's not yellow, it's gold. And then he was like, "What? Come on, don't see." I think weight is important here. If it's too hard, then chances is it will just fly by or even tap off reds and clear the red without touching the yellow stone. Like,
Yeah, this is going for something light.
light is important. Let's see if they can get enough curl here. They need to get yellow out of a shot position.
Don't think that's going to have the weight. It got onto the spot they wanted, but that does them like no good.
Yeah, nothing changed that much for Tsmerig Logsken. Just reattempt the guard there. They have a break here. Rammsteen not able to attack the shot stone. Now Quinton going for another guard. And could be an important guard. Leaving Rammsteen with just one more stone.
Well, looking at this, Rammsteen actually does have a little bit of a chance to go after that yellow. And we can show it after, depending on what Quinton does here.
Yeah, you have the red, yellow, red, red, yellow, the whole kind of...
No, even just coming up this side here, getting that. They don't need to hit it on the nose because I think it'll touch that red behind it enough, but it does have to have weight.
Yep.
Afgeremd. Hij gaat er wel sowieso. Ho, ho, ho.
It's a bit wide, but it is got some decent weight, so that is going to curl over. Oh, actually, that's going to curl over onto the red.
Yep.
That's great. That's great positioning right there.
No, I don't think so. This is not good. If you just slam it on yellow, then it's the way the two reds are aligned, they will just go straight for yellow.
That's right.
So now it makes it way easier to... otherwise, they had half a red stone to aim for, and now they have a full yellow stone to aim at.
Yeah. That's true. Missed that part.
Yeah, and even if that yellow stone wasn't there, the way all of the stones are aligned, if you hit the far top red one, it would launch yellow onto the double stacked reds and then bounce back to redstone. So the way things are lined up here are really in favor for Rammsteen, but they chose to go up for the other side.
Yeah,
here.
I don't like this call here.
Yeah.
I see what they're looking at, but
I think they're missing
they're missing the easier
angles
one by
there.
playing the yellow under the reds.
They were gifted a gift, but they saw it as an additional guard, and
This one is wide, hits something into something, and actually just makes it a whole lot easier for Tsmerig Logsken to score.
yeah, they just have to draw better than that redstone. I think they just missed out on a very, very good option to just put some weight on the yellow stone.
Yep.
Too bad. Could have always worked.
Ik ga vandaar kijken. En moet gewoon sowieso in Logsken.
I don't. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter because
Doesn't
that
really
red
matter
at the
that
top of the house. This red is second, so even if they draw it around, it freezes here, or they're too heavy. It's still they're only getting one. So
Yeah, has to be basically just full 8 foot, slightly better than the redstone.
yeah,
I think.
think
At these kind of moments, it's good to kind of don't fill your head with all of the alternative facts and just say, you can see the white there, just put that stone in the white, sweepers can do the rest.
Ik ga hem redelijk naar buiten smeten. Hè. Ready?
They already score 1. They might score 2. And he announced, I'm gonna pull it a bit. He felt like he was too heavy on the slides. So announcing to the sweepers.
not a whole lot of rotation on that one.
It could work. Starts.
I guess there's more. It just didn't look like it. This one coming all right, Thomas.
This is fine.
Oh, so
Look
tight to
at
everything,
that.
lads.
Just look at that. Just
That
look at
is
that.
a 4 out of 4 right there.
Doing it in style. They had a full 8 foot, but that was not classy enough for Quinten. He said, you know what? I'm just going to freeze up against the shot stone to just send a message there. It's about sending a message sometimes. Tsmerig Logsken scoring 2 in end number 4, leading 6-3 halfway. And the people in the poll kind of voting for Tsmerig Logsken, John being one of them, they are sitting in a comfortable position here.
Yeah. I saw somebody with their vote going back and forth between Rammsteen or not a little bit. It was bouncing up and down between 10 and 11 votes, and then they finally made up their mind. They went with Rammsteen.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a mistake. But who knows? We're still got only halfway through.
Yeah, we had a couple of 3-enders, like 2 of them, so anything can still happen. And I think Rammsteen, they just kind of punished themselves super hard in that second end by allowing Tsmerig Logsken to take 3 instead of just taking 2 there. So that was a 5-point difference. And that's something they will drag along the entire game, I'm afraid.
Yep.
Tsmerig Logsken, they're a decent team, and I think they make smart decisions. There's kind of no things where I say, oh, they don't see an obvious thing, or like I kind of like how they've built that experience of decision making so far.
Yeah, they're not trying anything.
Yeah, that, I think somebody's watching the stream right now, and it's probably his mom. I'm betting Quinten's mom is watching, and Quinten's like, "Hey, mom, I'm on the internet. Come and watch me." Or his girlfriend. Who knows? I think we should have a close up. I think he deserves a close up. Let's see if I can find that close up. They're having a little bit of a beverage.
Glass on the ice. That should be an automatic disqualification.
Yeah. As soon as I went for the close up, he popped in. Yeah, there are only 2 Rammsteeners left on the ice, wearing hats to fight the cold. I think while they're taking a little break, John, I think we should pop back to the booth real quick here, since they had a small beverage, which means they could take a while, maybe toilet break.
Yeah, interesting match so far. We're seeing a very even, I think, quality from both teams. It's they're playing each other quite well. I like Tsmerig Logsken's decision making so far. They're not trying to do anything super difficult, maybe one or two questionable calls, but for the most part, I think playing pretty smart within themselves, not trying to stretch out, do too much, and really putting pressure on Rammsteen to make the tricky shots.
Yeah, and like so unfortunate in the last end where Rammsteen had an option to raise their reds onto the yellow, and Logsken, they knew that, so they were trying to guard it up, but their guard came too deep. But because it was a yellow stone, all of a sudden, in the heads of Rammsteen, it was like, oh no, the guard is there.
Yeah, it's gone, yeah.
They blocked. We cannot reach our redstones anymore because there's the yellow in front, and they forgot that the yellow one is also something they can just use, tap, 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 and even making it easier to do that raise. Instead of trying to hit a half a stone, they could hit a full stone.
The teams going by, going out, listening to what we have to say, and most of the time it's just a load of gibberish coming out of our mouths. We're just trying to entertain ourselves, but sometimes the teams listen to us, and they really shouldn't.
But yeah, and in the end, teams have to make their own decisions. Maybe they have other philosophies or battle plans, or they also play the kind of qualities of their team. I mean, if I would be playing with a team like Rob, I might ask for peel weights way more than if I was playing with another team where they can play that kind of takeouts.
Yep.
Are you comfortable, John, in the booth?
Right now, no, because I didn't move my chair far enough out of the way, so I'm just leaning over.
I feel like I'm being
to the side. Get out of the side. Now I'm more comfortable. Just step over there. There is no. Yeah, I didn't move my chair out of the way, so I'm standing awkwardly, and now I'm just drifting into the middle. But hey,
it's a small booth. I mean, it feels like we're in a big TV studio right here, but people who visited Curling Club Zemsten know where we are. Like, if you walk in the building, you can hear our voices, but you're like, somebody's talking. And then they discover, wait a minute, this little banner.
This giant banner behind us, yeah.
The banner that's sitting against the wall, it's not entirely sitting against the wall. There's this small gap, and then there's two guys broadcasting in the small gap there.
Yeah, you don't see it on camera, but probably about like 30 centimeters in front of me is the desk where the computer is and my control panels. So yeah, we don't have a whole lot of room. And this thing is literally right behind me. If I tuck my elbow back, it's right there. So.
Yeah. But someday, I mean, there are rumors that there will be a 5-sheeter in Belgium at some point. Again, rumors, dreams, but if that's the case, we got to announce it first because we just mentioned that.
We'll be so happy we get our own booth, probably.
Oh, yeah.
But they are back out on the ice. I think they're getting ready to get started, so let's head back out there. And I can actually sit down in my chair and look comfortable, or be comfortable.
Yeah, the small breaks, they are allowed, but not all teams kind of take the full 5 minutes because if it's so cold, you can go in and warm up, but then going out and facing the cold again could be a bit confronting. Staying out there also helps to keep adjusted to the climate.
Yeah. All right. So Tsmerig Logsken with the 2 in the 4th. They'll be starting off the 5th end. They lead Rammsteen 6-3. We'll get some updates on the other sheets when they get in from their break as well. But all the matches moving at a pretty good pace. Only the League A match on sheet A has the thinking time. So they're a little bit ahead, but not a huge amount, to be honest. Yeah, this one coming down closer than it looked like it was going to get to the house. Thought that was going to come up just across the hog. Adrian choosing to go in the house behind it. One of the more common strategies is playing a corner guard, but you have to be able to be more precise with your shots when you're playing the corner guard. So,
yeah, I think that's a good rule of thumb that corner guard strategy on paper is a correct strategy, but it assumes your front end plays like 90% accurate. If you know that's not the case, and most of the times you will probably struggle or not make use of your corner guard enough.
This is going to tap that corner, that center guard. Moves it to the other side of the center line. Now they do have their corner guard. Tsmerig Logsken just going to throw something else up in the middle. They can kind of start playing the scoreboard here. They don't need to. They want to avoid a big end, giving up a big end.
Yeah.
So they can start playing more tight. Yeah.
Oh. How snel is it? Yep.
One dying there just as it crosses the hog line, but they're able to sweep that down. And just gets into the house. That is a pretty big bite. Yeah, that one got all the way in. So Adrian calling for the takeout. Try to roll under.
Veel ballen, moet veel ballen. Hij komt. Niks.
Starting to fall over. It's not going to catch it thick enough, I think, to stay, but it does get rid of it, and that is a good result. Sweepers working this one, trying to get it down. They wanted to get this one behind their own yellow, but unfortunately I think that's going to come up light. Quentin coming out to help sweep, get it as far as they can. Now they have a stacked double center guard. Got a couple of updates here. Team Vareka leads 7-1 over Steengoed as they head into the sixth end. Rammsteen and Tsmerig Logsken playing into a 4-3 at the moment. Stainsnooper is getting 2 back in the fourth. They went into the break tied up with Wipe My Ass 3-3 as they start end number 5. Feels a little bit heavy. Yeah, Adrian just saying that. Line is going to get them around the guards. Starts to slow down there right in front of the house. That might settle in nicely. Just on the back of the 4-foot, but pretty good shot right there.
Yeah, I like it. And now Tsmerig Logsken, basically they can follow up because it's slightly behind T-line.
That would be ideal. Yep, get in there. I think Quentin correctly pointing out they wants us above the T-line if he can, but they do have the backing there, so...
Veel! Yep!
He's on the... It's going to get around the guards easily. It's a little bit on the heavy side, so they want this to curl around, and that will move the red. Their shooter goes to the back, but red goes further, so...
Yeah. Nice. And a nice way to kind of clear the danger there for Tsmerig Logsken.
Yep.
Guards are still sitting there, so Rammsteen going to reattempt putting redstone behind the guards in front of the T-line. push. Will that push
Be
carry
too
the team?
much.
Yeah.
I think the way that they're looking, it's definitely wide of the guards.
Vallen.
So it needs to curl though. There it starts to go. So weight's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Ja, zo ver mogelijk nu, zo ver mogelijk.
Maybe he knew he was a bit
Oh
slow.
no, yeah, that came up a little bit light. That looked pretty good, but yeah, unfortunately they stayed off it too long and it died just before it got into the house. Does that really look that was going to come in right around top of 4 foot behind those two guards?
Didn't even manage to get in the house.
No.
That's unfortunate.
Ja!
Sweepers jumping on that straight away. Needs to get down there as deep as they can.
Slide and over curls.
Doe maar. Ja, ja. We kunnen hem. Kom nog verder ook.
Yep, that's gonna curl into that pile. So Adrian's saying, let's take out this yellow in the back, and I don't think that's necessary.
Oh, and it's not really that much of a danger, but yeah, it's the shot stone, and
Leaves you-
sometimes that's the stone you need to hunt. Although,
I felt like a draw, that same draw they did, just slightly heavier, would have been ideal.
Vegen! Vegen, vegen, hard vegen, kom aan!
Yeah, this is starting to go out. Wanted to get this around the guard, it does.
Ja, los, dat is oké, merci.
watch the hacks. Boink.
Nope. But they're removable.
Not the removal, yeah, and I think the stone will remove them.
Yeah, I like the idea. I would have preferred to see them go with that draw, that same draw, get a riddle behind it, because they could easily have tapped their own stone in and then left themselves with a good guard.
Yeah.
They do get rid of the shot stone, but
Yeah, but like, if Tsmerig Logsken is able to just put something behind the guards in that kind of 8 foot, 4 foot, then what gain did you have from removing a stone in the back?
this one coming up light. If it stays a little bit outside, they can tap it, but it's going to just curl over on. And I'm going to assume whatever came out of Quentin's mouth was a swear there, because it was just kind of not really clear.
It was a mild swear, an expression of disappointment, swear-wise. Yeah, I think Tsmerig Logsken, they really just want to put something in the house just to avoid Rammsteen to score 2 or 3. Rammsteen having already 1 redstone in the house.
Dus snelheid 4.
So speed 4, which means they're working with the forest line measurement system.
This is tight.
Yeah, this is inside. It's already close to the center guard, crossing the center guard right now. Or center line.
Vegen. Come on.
Not sure. Oh, maybe he can get a little chip back out.
Vegen. Sorry. Ja.
Oh, well, or that way. Good on Adrian to see that. Yeah, that was a possibility. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. That's what they say.
Take out here.
Yeah, the way it's lined up, I think there might even be a
Snelheid.
full house double there.
Backline snelheid, tegen. Backline snelheid tegen rood.
Well, I think, yeah, most important is make sure that red, but if they're throwing back line, they need a little bit more ice than that.
Definitely, yeah.
And I think
Iets geleden. Ja.
I think as Giannis moved back, he kind of got a little bit tighter. Yeah, now they're giving him a little bit more.
Zurich backline snelheid.
Yeah, I like it. Not too hard, and if it works, it might stick around in the front. And then they have a yellow wall they can promote afterwards, and at least making it hard for Rammsteen to find a good draw.
Yep. This one feels okay. A little bit wide. Is that going to curl over?
It's okay.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, make sure that it gets past that yellow. Very nice.
Beautiful, beautiful. Maybe even catching
Just
the
a
back.
little bit too light. Gets one, but doesn't push them both out.
Yeah, but I still like it. I mean, sure, there are 2 red stones in the back. One of them is the shot stone, but look at how the house is looking. Like if you're red, it's so blocked up in front.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
stones in the back.
honestly, if yellow, because those stones are back there, you can just bring something out back there. You've got backing if you need it. So,
Oh, a beautiful stone there from Quinten. Sets them up for a potential steal, but one more stone. That's
but I
the one.
believe, yeah, Adrian's going to do kind of a hit and roll underneath. If he gets this is going to be a really tough position. Put Tsmerig Logsken in a really tough position to steal.
On the other side, if it opens things up, then Tsmerig Logsken they have an option to just come in and get a stone behind the center guards. That's the thing they're looking for, basically.
Ooh, this feels tight.
And there was a push, but I'm not sure. We'll see.
Vegen, 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 vegen.
Oh, it's light. It's very light. For a hit, that's going to chip off their own red. Is that going to squeeze in between the 2 yellows? It does, but not deep enough.
No, so you scrolled back back to the front, and now, yeah, I think
Kan wel
yellow.
moeilijk rond, hè.
They
Kan
can
moeilijk rond, hè.
tap their yellow one back. That's an
Ja,
option,
het gaat wel lukken.
or they can come around.
Ja, ja, oké, maar wat gaan we doen?
I like that option to come around
Dan kunnen ze nog
because they want to keep things locked. Rammsteen has the hammer, so just avoid Rammsteen. Take away an easy draw for
We
Rammsteen.
kunnen
Could
2,
work.
3 dingen doen. Oftewel speel ik die daarop. Ja, dan ligt hij erbij. Oftewel speel ik zo die door. Maar ja, hier kan ik moeilijk aan. Dat is een klein tikje. Ja, ik kan
Ja,
moeilijk aan, zie.
I like their options. I like how they're thinking here, and I prefer their call just to come around, even if it's in the front of the T-line. Then Rammsteen, they basically have hard angles to find a good draw.
Het ding is wel, mag maar een klein tikje zijn. Hè. En als ik hem slecht mee heb, ga zo doen. Ik ga het toch zo doen. Risico vermijd.
Yeah, I like it. He says, well, yeah, I can just tap in yellow, but there are a couple of things where it could go wrong. I open things up, I tap it to the wrong sides. So he says, let's go for the safe option, find a good draw. I mean, they have the... Do they have the shot stone right now? I don't think so.
No, they don't. It's red, yellow, red.
Yeah, but I still like it. This is a good draw here. Then Rammsteen could be in a bit of trouble.
I mean, this stone here is not scoring unless this yellow one goes away. And that's not going to happen by coming over here. So
Ja. Let's go.
I like the confidence from Quinten.
Yeah, and just like how they gained so much experience, they mapped out all of the options that were out there, or the kind of the reasonable options. They weighed out pros, cons, risk versus save options, and settled for us.
Just needs to make sure this gets around it. And
Oh, it's tight.
Doe me.
just chips.
Kak.
Oop.
That's a swear jar moment.
Absolutely a swear jar moment.
We're looking at a no-set takeout for 4 for Rammsteen right here, and that's something they have to go for.
Yeah.
No-set takeout for 4. There's not that much they can do wrong other than getting it too much on the sides and having Yellowstone jam into the back red stones there.
Oh.
But this is a classic low-risk, high-reward situation.
Did you just speak it into existence, though? Let's find out.
Well, let's find out soon enough. Yeah. But
Is who has the commentator's curse tonight? Is it me or Pim?
Yeah.
So far, we've been pretty good about not jinxing things, but
they have an opportunity to score for. Have to go for it. Sweepers are on it. Can they hold the line? And we have an angle on that line.
I think that is going to be a little bit tight. Catches it and
catch it with a.
and he takes out his own teammate.
Yeah, but then again, where did that's an important one. The redstone was blocked by his foot, so
Yeah, that
the
was-
redstone would have gone out of the house. Now it's all of a sudden a point.
I believe it would have gone out of the house.
I think so too. Yeah, with that weight, it would have gone out, and I think they have to settle for one red to be honest. But can we turn on the mic skips?
Oh.
The skip mics.
They're on. Just the skips.
Ik kan het niet zien. Ja, anders moet ik commenteren.
We can't go and say
Ik weet
anything.
niet of dat hij naar daar ging.
It was never going to touch the Reds. That was always going to
Ah,
go.
nee, nee, dat is goed. Ik had niet gezien in welke hoek. Als hij die in een hoek had. Maar als jij zegt van niet, ze zei van niet, is goed. 1.
I think Rammsteen is saying it's one red, and I think that's a
I think
fair thing
that's
to
the
say.
right call. Yeah.
Because even if it jams on the back, it will tap a redstone back, and yeah, it's hard to tell. But they're selling for one red, and I think that would have been the outcome of the stone with the angle. But yeah, an option and an opportunity here for Rammsteen to score 4 inside. Then unfortunately,
Yeah.
just taking 1 here.
Just a bit tight off his hand, and that is it. That is going to be 1 for Rammsteen. So Tsmerig Logsken holding on to the lead, getting the hammer back. This is going to be an important end. It's an important end for you out there in TV land, chat, or internet land. We have at the end of this the conclusion of this end, we will
speak later.
Okay, wait. Let me try this one more time. At the conclusion of this end, we will close the poll. So get your votes in now. There we go.
Very good, John.
Someday I'm going to think about the words that I want to say before I say them.
But there was nothing wrong with the words. You just have to put them in the right order to make sentences.
Well, it was saying end, end, end again.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
trying to avoid that whole mess. So Bert will be leading things off for Rammsteen here in the 6th end.
Now it does start to smell like fries in here. Or am I wrong now? I guess I'm wrong.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe I'm just hungry because I didn't have a big lunch this afternoon.
Yeah, I had some leftover Chinese food during our break, but it wasn't quite enough. I always get very hungry within an hour of eating Chinese food. This one drawing down into the house. Adrian politely saying thank you.
Gewoon vooraan het huis proberen, oké? Die snelheid.
Now looking for a center guard. Rammsteen wasn't in the middle, so Tsmerig Logsken trying to take it over for themselves.
Oh,
This one is going to curl over a bit.
Oh, nice. They can finish it, perhaps.
I think it's going to chip just off the red, but not very much.
wacht, dit is wat. Nee, fout.
Yeah, Quinten, he say, well, my fault. I did the wrong estimation here. I called you off. Whether should have swept it, finished it, but an honest mistake. Adrian reconsidering his call here, opting for a draw first. Still going for a draw. Yes.
Yep.
Or no.
No, no, changing his mind, coming from the other side.
Yeah.
We gaan hem doortikken, sorry hè.
Oh no, another call. They're gonna promote Reds.
Yeah, that's why I liked the draw on this one originally. It gave them a little bit of a,
Plan
if
B.
it's tight, you got a plan B. The other one, not as much. Thomas jumping on the sweep. Dries jumping in to help. Needs it to curl, but yeah, this one's going to stay out wide. And is going to cross the tee. Quinton's going to try to sweep that out. And there it goes. Out of the circles at the very least.
I think we have a conclusive result over on Shide. John is prepping the updates, so I'm going to try to avoid an angle with the camera that reveals too much of the scoreboard. But people that were kind of watching the stream earlier and kept an eye on that scoreboard, they might have some guess on the winner of that game.
Here we go. Final in 6. Vereka defeats Steingood 9-1. We're here in the 6th. Tsmerig Logsken leading 6-4 over Rammsteen, and Wipe My Ass taking a 4-3 lead over Stain Snoopers in the 6th.
Yep! Yep!
Trying to get this one down and around. Maybe a little bit late on the sweep call, but nope. This one's looking like it's going to get past. Yeah, that's maybe the...
Yeah, they don't really finish those stones. As soon as it's kind of past the guard, they feel like, okay, we cannot clip the guards, job done, and then they stop sweeping, but they can just keep going, going, and bury it as...
That will come with experience, I think, and that's really where it is the inexperience. That's where it shows on those little things like that. Get it buried. Get it all the way as deep as you can, kind of stuff.
But I'm still impressed by the way they kind of analyze the game and make decisions so far.
Yeah, they're handling themselves quite well. Quinton deserves a thumbs up, but also a bar of soap to eat. So I don't know if that was ever a punishment here, but when I was growing up, if you swore in front of your parents, it was you had to wash your mouth out with soap. This one line is probably a little bit wide. Is that going to curl around too much? Did they wait? They waited too long. Yep.
Boink. That's the kind of thing they wanted to avoid.
They do end up in shot, but yeah, now they're sitting out wide, and this is a hit and roll.
Lutte, we gaan tikken. Backlash snelheid.
So giving enough ice for backline over there. Weight feels good. Line feels all right. But they do want to hold this one straight. Don't want it to roll too far. Excellent.
What a shot here. What a shot. And thumbs up from Quinton. Well deserved. And now Tsmerig Logsken sitting with an aggressive setup here. And Adrian has had it. He's just said, just get rid of those stones. I don't want to see him anymore.
So coming with the bomb. Doesn't feel quite like peel weight. There is good weight there. It's going to move some stones around.
Just their own red one, maybe.
Oh, catches the side of the yellow and takes out their own. That's unfortunate.
Now look at this lineup. 3 in a row in the house. All they need to do is just put another guard in front of it. And then they're all set for a big steal here.
Yeah, just guard it up. Quinton, if you can hear me, I'm channeling, please, I want Pim's house.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
I don't...
I was hoping for just like another.
Yeah, they should just put one right in the middle, even if it's a freeze on the top of those other 4. It's
they kind of know if you're Rammsteen, what do you do right now? You just slam in some weight on the Yellowstone. So that's, if you kind of counterplay that, that's where you put the guard.
Ja.
no. No, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
It could always be inside, light, overcurl, end up there.
No, they jumped straight away to sweep, so it is a bit on the lighter side, but that's on that outside line that doesn't curl back in that much.
Net in.
I'm gonna bring this deep.
Oké, oh, niet te ver.
I mean, you can blame the thrower because he just
He did what he called, yeah. Yeah, that's a skip fault right there for that decision. Even the if they threw that same speed and we're just going for the middle, and if it lined up on those other 3 in the middle, that's perfect because then it's even harder. Now there's a double here.
But even the double, you just need to clear out those centers. But the fact that that extra Yellowstone is sitting there is confusing Adrian. So he's going for that double here.
Yeah, I would have
makes sense.
I would come in on here, and if it happens to catch the middle and go that, I wouldn't be playing for this outside stone first.
No, it's the 3 in a row. That's the thing you should be worrying about. That's the stuff you want to clear. The one on the side, that's something you can always deal with later. It's not super dangerous.
Well, he is going to catch one, moves.
Ja, 30.
Thanking the thrower. Thank you for throwing the stone. Blessed you.
Guard.
Opting for a guard here.
That doesn't help them that much, honestly, the guard. Unless it's high. They need to set that one guard here. Oops, no, I clicked yellow. I like a guard up here. I guess a guard here also kind of works, but you're still not going to take away that outside.
Or even just take out reds, throw on the center line, tap red to the side, and then have 4 stones in the front of the house. Then basically Rammsteen has nothing. You have a 2-point lead. You have 4 stones in the house. Kind of with the scoreboard in mind. But that may be a slightly more difficult option because then you have to make sure you hit right on the right angle.
Yeah. But I don't like this call just because of if it's a little bit fast, it just goes so straight. This is going to catch that and chip over into the middle.
That works. It's just,
Ja, oké, goed. Was ook.
at least it creates this kind of, puddle of Yellowstone sitting 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is basically just bugging Adrian so much at this point. And you have to deal with them. And now the thing is, by leaving the red stone, now they can just run red into the yellow ones and the red will stay, so that's a usable stone.
I like peel weight on this one here. That will move those other 3 out.
Yep.
Right on the nose, peel weight. Just slug it in there. Then they're sitting with 2, the top of the house. There's probably 1 stone sitting, Yellowstone sitting back there, but your stone's in front of it. You can peel it back.
Yeah, you have a lot of yellow to throw in there.
Got good weight on it, but it's going to be too much weight, and that's going to catch their red on the side. Moves one of the yellows.
Yeah, well, they can still kind of use that one single redstone to clear the yellow stones and then have additional redstones. Have to wait and see how that plays out. If you're Tsmerig Logsken, you don't really need to score 3 or 4 or 5. The only thing you want to do is make sure Rammsteen doesn't score 3 or 4 or 5. So just make sure that red is gone, or see if you can put extra stuff in there. But on the other hand, they have a lot of options to go for.
Niks.
I don't mind putting in another yellow stone in there as well. Every yellow stone in there is something red has to clear out before they can score a big house.
That's true. Trying to get this one down, trying to let it curl over, get in front of that red.
Decent guards. Red is still accessible, but they only have one more angle.
Now they're looking at this coming in here, and if they get it at the right angle, they can end up in the shot position. Look at this from the overhead and see. Come in here, tap, and then the shooter should end up there. But they've got to hit it at the right angle. If it's too thin, then it might shoot through the back.
This is going to be an important end, because both teams have options to score a lot of points here so far. And if Tsmerig Logsken is able to come out on top, they are very close to claiming the win. But if Rammsteen somehow manage to score 2 or 3, everything is reset, and we go into end number 7 and 8 with a very close battle here.
Feels wide.
This is not the time to miss takeouts here, guys.
No, I think it's going to catch the outer edge, so it is going to get rid of one, but the shooter is going to go away as well. So,
this is not good.
In the yellow jammed on the stone of the back, it's not going to count.
Yeah. But by hitting it on the outsides, suddenly everything narrowed down to stones on the center line. So putting, let's say, another center guard next to a center guard you have, and all of a sudden you have a dream situation if you're Tsmerig Logsken.
Yeah, something right about here.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Actually, we could even go wider. Like anything in this area there is better.
Yeah, just make sure you don't leave a gap. But other than that, it's all perfect putting guards out there. And again, it's kind of removing that yellow stone is beneficial for Logsken.
Yep.
It's you could say score-wise, okay, they've lost a point, but tactical-wise, it makes it easier to defend the last 2.
Guard, hè. Exact dezelfde steen als jongens.
A little bit on the heavy side.
Yeah, like it.
But I don't mind the chip on the edge of that red, moving it off to the side. It really buries the red. It makes it impossible.
Yeah.
You can't. They could do yellow onto red, but that's such a long one. So now they kind of have to run a yellow back. Yeah. And this is their last stone, so they're real.
Last stone, so this is so hard for them to. I mean, they're in damage control here, to be honest. I think they are in damage control. If they want to stay alive, if they want to make sure they have a fighting chance going into the last 2 ends, their battle plan has to be, okay, how can we survive this? How can we reduce the damage? And see if we can enter... If they have a 3-point gap, that's manageable.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to draw and try to get here around that way. It's really their only hope, honestly.
Yeah. Good work. It's going to be the most important draw for Adrian in this game. If it is open and exposed, it might leave a takeout.
Trek je minder dan. Kom je in een grote richting en ga naar buiten. Dat is nog een beetje minder. Dit. Redelijk hard, jongens. Sorry.
Oh, Adrian apologizing straight out of his hands. Like, this is hard. And it does. It feels on the heavy side, but the sweepers are
Yeah, it's not super hard. It's good
No,
work.
that actually might be better than I thought. Back of the forefoot is just as good as the front. So, oh, but it's going to over curl. How much kind of a roll are they going to get off of this?
No.
Oh,
no
just a little
curls.
bit too much. And
Yeah, hit and roll here for 3. There's a even just drawing works. They can choose whatever they feel comfortable with.
Ja, ja, het lijkt.
And nose hit could also work. A hit and roll works.
Ja.
I think I would opt for that because with a draw it's more subtle. It has to be like good length, whereas with a takeout, with this kind of straight ice,
yeah, I think you're a little bit better.
doesn't have to be heavy. Just make sure you tap it back far enough. You don't have to slam it into the boarding. It's not needed.
Ready?
Yeah, nice control weight. Nothing too heavy.
Next! Next!
Needs to curl.
Calling him off. They need it curling. Now he's calling it. But this is... Oh, no, that's going to over curl. It's
Oh,
too
they
light.
waited too light. They waited too long.
I think... Yeah, they waited too long, but it was also too light. Just backline and...
Well, sure. Then it's 2 instead of 3. But it's going to be a disappointment now. If they turn around, look at the scoreboards. It's 8-4. It's not that much of the 9-4 is nicer.
Yeah.
But I think 4-point lead going into the last 2 ends. I think that's something they are still pretty happy with. They feel confident. They feel strong. And again, after seeing them play against the Broomies, also now, I think they are putting up a solid performance, given the fact that they are a very young team playing in Ghent, non-dedicated ice rink there.
Yep.
Have to take that into account, to be honest. And knowing how fast the ice is right here, if you have to kind of throw 15 seconds hawk to hawk to get to the tee line, and you're a team that is used to play late night hockey ice circumstances, adjusting to these conditions here.
Yeah, that's important. All right, so the poll is closed. 47% of you chose Tsmerig Logsken, 47% of you chose Rammsteen, and the other percent chose a tie. That's that one voter who chose a tie. Let's see how this plays out right now. Tsmerig Logsken voters are looking really good. That includes me.
Yeah, true. It was too tempting to counterpick.
I understood. I think if I was in your shoes, I would have probably done the same thing.
Yeah.
I think I would have looked at it and gone, yeah, this is such an even match. I think that, and honestly, though, it's not over yet. This is 2 ends, 4 points. Anything can happen.
Yeah, we shouldn't be calling it. We've seen crazier stuff here in the Belgian Curling League.
Oh, laat maar. Laat maar los.
This one coming in. It's going to curl around behind the yellow, but how deep will that go? Oh, we're not too far behind the tee.
Excellent, to
Good
be honest.
spot, yeah.
Excellent. Can be too overly critical here.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, they can draw, but at least Rammsteen put a bit of pressure there.
I'm just trying to lay in on top of that. Good call. Narrow down the scoring area. That's all Tsmerig Logsken has to do is just keep things tight, keep things clean. This is going to get around the guard. And that's going to be right there on top. That's a beautiful follow-up there.
Wow. This is excellent. Top-notch play here from both teams. And for Rammsteen, played a decent stone. Followed up with an equally decent stone from Logsken. You can see Adrian. Yes, we'll do the same
Do it
then.
again, yeah. Try play a little corner freeze or a tap back and see what happens. I like the corner freeze better than the tap back because then it'll kind of lock it in place. But
gaat erdoor.
I don't know if you have a chance to zoom over on sheet A when you get a chance, or sheet C, the house over there. See the beautiful scattering of stones throughout there. I believe all of the stones are in play at the moment. But I could be a couple hiding behind the beer crates.
This is a pretty interesting setup here.
Oh, there's one all the way in the back, so not a full 16, but that's still... And it's hard to see who's actually shot, too. It
I'm
might
guessing
be yellow, but it's something.
Hoeveel? Hoeveel? Ja!
Like this one. Yeah, just over the center line. That's
Excellent.
a great spot there. That is going to cover up that shot in the middle. Now it's going to really force Rammsteen to do something.
Yeah. And they can clear the guards. That's something we've learned today. The
That you
3-guard zone ends after the 5th stone, and as of stone number 6, you are allowed, but not before.
Not before, nope.
And they should. I mean, yellow has a build-up. It's not a nice build-up. They already have that redstone in the house, so they can go for a 2-pointer here. But they need to... They need to be able to attack the yellow shotstone, and the guards are protecting it.
Yeah.
But they don't. Yeah, if you're going into this game where you try to do a better draw, maybe after a couple of attempts, you might actually do a better draw, but you will just notice you might end up with just 1 point, and that's not the result you need if you are going into the last ends.
This one coming in a little bit light.
The guard is definitely not what you want.
No, they wanted this one high in the house, but that's not what you need.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that Rammsteen, they have lesser experience, but then again, if you look at the amount of years Thomas and Adrian have been curling, it's not like they're new to the sport. So
No, and I kind of feel like they should know more. They should know better on some of the things that they call for.
This is like, okay, we have the hammer, they have a shot stone, we're past the 3-guard point. It's,
but Adrian is still relatively new to skipping, and I think Thomas as well, not really skipped a whole lot, so they're missing that experience between the skip and the vice. This is all right as well. That's gonna
makes it even
wider. Yeah. So
to clear the guards here. And now
now he does it. He waited too long. Adrian just unfortunately waiting a little bit too long with this, but needing to put some good weight behind this one.
Yeah, because now they have a stone less, and there's a yellow one more.
Yeah,
makes the job harder to clear the front.
A little bit of a slide inside, pushed it back to the out, wanting to catch this one a little bit off the nose.
Well, 2 go, but they leave the shooter still out there. They have to kind of keep repeating it. That they have to accept that in this middle part of the game, all they need to do is make sure they gain access to the yellow shot stone.
Yeah,
they already have a stone in the house, so that's going to be the second point. If
Wat zelfs nu, Jonas? Goed naar buiten.
I don't know that I like this guard out there wanting to set something up here in the house. Oops, my thing didn't work.
I'm gonna follow this slide here.
Yeah, go ahead. They're putting up a guard, top of the house. Yeah, it's another one scoring, but then it also leaves a hit and roll or a possible angle in at the shot stone that they didn't have before.
If they can get it in between, I think if they find a nice angle, it could work.
This one is a bit on the lighter side.
Not too much of a tap. Don't open it up.
Ja, goed.
Oof, did they open it up?
No, not really. There's a gap for a stone, but you know how much is that really?
Well, I think they're gonna shoot in between the gap because if you hit one of the two guards, that also works.
Yeah, honestly, yeah,
So
that's
it's kind of forcing you to try it, basically. I wouldn't mind
it's
losing the guards, and even the double takeouts there as well. Quinten looking back at the scoreboards.
Probeer ertussen te gaan.
darn it. I was trying to fill in the score with my pen and I dropped it. This one inside.
Dank u.
Well, that was the margin. Just, if it didn't work, that's at least a guard is gone.
Yeah, it's going to force Logsken to throw another guard up there, but I don't think they mind that. Just keep it closed. They've done pretty well with throwing these stones with some good weight, the proper weight. Sometimes a little bit outside of the line, but maybe trying to play too much curl, but still seems to be in a reasonable position with the broom, so...
Push it outside.
Niks! Niks! Niks!
Needs to curl. Small tap of yellow could also work. I mean, the line to protect the shot stone, that's the most important thing, even if you have to do a little small tap.
Yeah, this is where he should be sweeping it because it's outside. Now it's going to get over too much on the nose, but it's closing it up. Stayed a little bit out there.
Heeft nog zo daar met zijn elleboog.
But that's just the inexperience for Quinten there. I think a little bit more time, he'll learn that, yeah, okay, we need to sweep that to keep it out so it closes that gap even more. And I think it might actually even be a little bit more space than there's there because our cameras aren't quite on the center line, so it's
Makes sense to try and come in. The gap's open, and same thing here. If you catch one of the yellow stones, not the worst.
Yep. Oh, push that and pulled that inside, I think.
It's already crossing the center line right now, so
Yeah, that is going to be all over there, red. They want to make sure that rolls out to the side, keeps things open. Doesn't hurt them immensely, but yeah, just got away from him off his hand.
Dat wordt kut.
gonna be a guard here again.
Ja, centraal weg. Super centraal. We waren echt super centraal weg. Dat leek, maar maakt niet uit.
Yeah, I also have to,
Langs deze kant.
compliment Quinten. He actually talks with his teammates as well, and sometimes he's just telling them, he's communicating to them what to do, but then he's also asking questions at times. So I feel like he's really learning a lot as a skip in such a short time.
Nee, we gaan zo komen. Ietske minder.
Yep.
Ja.
As long as this ends up somewhere over on the right side of that center line, that's going to be a good positioning.
Yeah, even if it's heavy, they can always try and sweep it behind those corner guards. Again, they have a 4-point lead. The only thing they need to do is make sure Rammsteen just scores one on their hammer at best. And then they take the hammer and a big point lead into the last end here.
Just needs to make sure it's over. It's going to get over, but that's going to curl a ton.
Yeah.
And so...
Too light.
Oh, it didn't even get over. Wow. Okay. That's a shame, yeah. I think just trying to play too cute, not being afraid of, I don't want it in the house, I don't want it there. So you try to play it too cute and it just comes up light.
Good thing is, they can afford it, these kind of mistakes at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
Don't think Rammsteen is going to score 4 out of this one because they only have 2 more stones to throw. So at best they can score 3. Now, yeah, we've seen Adrian miss a couple of takeouts today. Not mentioning the second end there. So even though this is an open takeout, that's an open takeout on paper, but it has to be thrown anyway. Sweeper's trying to hold the line.
Seems to be okay getting this across. He's asking him for a sweep, but I think this one's okay.
Might jam on the back red there.
That's the only worry. Yeah, maybe that's why he wanted him to sweep, keep it a little bit out. And that jams on the back and leaves it open.
Yeah, and they needed that back redstone as an additional point. That's the... That's a bit unfortunate there, because now they still have one more redstone.
Moet een goede noek raken, dat hij wegspint.
Yeah, so if you're Logsken, and that's what Quint's saying, just take it out and make sure you avoid the jam.
Yep.
And then that's perfect. Then that's perfect. Then it's 4-1. That is exactly what they want. Then they're in a win-win situation, basically.
Yeah. Getting the hammer back with a 3-point lead heading into the final ends. Yeah, that's...
Dat is de moeilijkste een.
No, it's not, Quentin. You'll be fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Saying it's a difficult stone, but no, he's got this. I believe in him. You've got the entire national team watching you from the canteen behind you.
Ooh, is scrolling very hard.
Lights, yeah. He didn't put enough weight on it. That's gone. That's gonna catch on that red guard. It'll push the yellow into the house, but that'll actually end up not really doing much.
No, that's unfortunate. Now, this is basically an open draw for 2 here. I don't see anything. They cannot score 3. And needs to be full 8 for 2 points.
Yep.
Nee, van de zo.
Oh, not even full 8. Just a tiny little nibble of the 8. Basically full 12.
Yeah.
And it's good enough. They just need to make sure it gets between everything and stays in. And honestly, I think I would come the other way.
Yeah. Then
You use the backing of your own stone because there's that yellow behind it. It's very unlikely you're going to knock it loose, knock it away, but...
Open draw for 2.
Oh, when it's light, sweepers are working it, but I don't think that's going to get there.
No, it has to be better than no. It's not getting there.
No.
Nope. And unfortunately, they miss out on a quote-unquote 3-point here. Adrian leaving his team short. They scored just 1. Excellent outcome here for Tsmerig Logsken, as they might go into the last end. I feel like Rammsteen is the kind of team that will still play for it.
I think so. They're here. Let's play. They're not dead, but yeah, they would have loved that extra point to have.
Yeah, I mean,
the steal of 3 is going to be tough.
They're all the way on the other side. They have to come back anyway. They might bring some stones back. Just start the last 10, see how the start goes. If they have a couple of guards, who knows? It's worth trying. But Tsmerig Logsken is... I think they are playing stronger than Rammsteen. Their decision-making is more solid. And then, on top of that, Rammsteen is making some mistakes that are actually hurting them. So that's not helping them as well. So, on a lot of fronts, Rammsteen is drawing the shortest straw here.
Yep. Bert starting things off for Rammsteen here in the last 8th and final end. They trail Tsmerig Logsken 8-5. They're going to have to put some guards up to build things up here. This one is light. Are they going to be able to get it over. It does get over. Does not get over. Oof.
And that is the first guard they needed, and it's hogged, and it's so unfortunate because, yeah, they're still in that 3 guard zone situation. Logsken would not have been able to take guards out. For Logsken,
No guards. No guards, Quentin, to put it in the house. Through the house is fine too.
they're going on the center line. That makes sense.
That's fine. Yeah. Make sure you're in the center, but make sure it's in the house.
In the house is pretty nice, yeah.
Yes. You're up by 3. You have the hammer. You don't need to score. Just you can throw everything away. Throw this one away.
Yeah.
Although that is counterintuitive, especially to new skips. It's like, wait, what do you mean I want to throw this stone away?
Yeah, you still want to win every end. It's like you start, how do we win this end? That's the basics.
Ver moeilijk. Op de lijn, op de lijn, op de lijn, op de lijn.
This one will come down and stop in front of the house, but on the center line, so...
Yeah, very nice. I mean, just taking away the whole arguments about last end score leads, just saying, well, I'm asking for a center guard. Look at that center guard.
Yep. Yeah, he threw what was asked, so you can't fault the thrower for that. Great stone. Now let's see if Rammsteen could take advantage. There is a center guard for them. Get in behind it and...
Yeah, although they need guards if they need to score 3. I mean...
Hij moet wel veel vallen, maar hij moet er wel in vegen. Ah nee, het is oké.
This one's staying out wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that yellow one is a guard.
Yeah.
You say they need guards, they have one. Why not use it?
And unfortunately they sweep it in, because it was never getting behind the guard, so then it doesn't make a lot of sense to kind of sweep it in, because that makes it a target to take it out. Otherwise they would have a second guard.
Yeah.
What?
Quentin recognizing it's in the house. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
Good call here.
And at some point, Tsmerig Logsken can start counting down the stones that are left for Rammsteen.
This one, unfortunately, wide, a little hard. That's going to just sail by.
It was on the straighter sides here.
Whoop.
That's a swear jar. That was an international swear jar.
Yep. Just glancing over to sheet C and seeing another mess of stones just out everywhere. Not quite the full 16, but still a bunch out there.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate that I had to pick my prediction first, because I wanted to pick Tsmerig Logsken, and it felt like it was going to be like the underdog pick as the
Well, you didn't get to pick it first. I got to pick.
Yeah,
first.
you get to pick first. So now that kind of forced me into counter picking. But I still like how Tsmerig Logsken is playing here tonight. So.
Yeah. No.
Niks doen.
One coming deep. And that's, I think, one of the things that Rammsteen hasn't been doing tonight. They have not capitalized on any Tsmerig Logsken mistakes. I don't recall.
Take out of backline.
They've hurt themselves with their own misses, and I don't think they've really taken advantage when, okay, they flew this one by. They could have put another one on the other side of the house and kind of kept the hitting game open, but... This one looking good. That's going to be right on.
Yeah, it can even roll to the side. They don't need an extra guard.
Yep.
No sweeping there. But yeah, look at this. The build-up here. All of a sudden. Yeah, Rammsteen, they need to score 3. They have nothing so far.
Yep.
Looking to find that one protection behind that center guard. But yeah, 1 point is just not enough here. In if I'm Tsmerig Logsken, well, you can even take away your own guard. You don't need your own guard to be sitting out there.
Yep.
If it's going to protect the stones of your opponent.
Snelheid. Niks doen. Moet veel vallen.
This one a little bit tighter than the previous one, so this one will start to curl. trying to get this one to curl over behind that yellow. Even a little bit will help. Brings it close. So gets a thank you from Adrian.
Yeah.
But Quentin Lining setting up. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah. The margin is over curling, clipping your guard away. Something cracked. Hope that wasn't his knee.
No. Well, he looks like a young man. I don't think he has cracking knees. Oh, several swear jars in one go. But yeah, just outside.
Yeah, the miss was inside, not outside.
Yep.
And they keep Rammsteen alive.
Just need a little bit more control on some of those takeouts that they don't need to go. They need to find a weight between full control and backline. It's that middle hack weight kind of thing where it's like, okay, we're still under control. It's heavy enough, but it's going to give us a little bit of a little margin of error, a bit of wiggle room.
Wil, 4 is goed, 3 is goed. Ziet er snel uit.
This one in the house, because if it's going through, then they give another
Niks.
takeout opportunity to Tsmerig Logsken. Anything in the house basically is good enough. Even in the back of the house. But this is heavy.
Yeah, that's just going to get through. Quentin making sure it gets through. And yeah, line was good, just too heavy.
Yeah.
And this fast ice is going to keep going, so
4 stones already sitting in the back here for Reds. You need 4 to win, 3 to tie.
Alles. Bok.
oh, swear jar.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. We had 3 missed takeouts here for Tsmerig Logsken. So just imagine if Rammsteen was able to put stones in the house. They could have had 3 stones already at this point with the hammer.
Yep.
Klein tikje.
I don't mind this strategy. They've struggled with finding like the proper
Dus
draw weight.
4.
So if it's a little bit heavy, it won't tap it all the way through.
I think even with having to score 3 points, which is hard, I think Rammsteen was given an opportunity here and they still missed it.
Yep.
This one might fill over curl, tap in yellow maybe.
Blijven vegen.
No, I think that's going to make it just a little chip.
Tap, yeah. And it works.
But that works, yeah.
That works like a charm. Yeah, they're laughing about it. They know that was kind of an alternative way to get a result. I think it happened like in the first or second, and I recall this happened before.
Well, yeah, they had where they were playing a takeout and they chipped off the other one, and unfortunately it gave up, it hit their others, so they benefited from a miss this time as opposed to absolutely destroying themselves.
It's a little spark of hope in what is going to be just kind of the hard reality that, yeah, sure, they have that 1 stone there. But now, every stone counts for Rammsteen. Needs to be in the house, needs to be protected. And Thomas is thinking, how do I achieve that?
I would possibly play the hit and roll here.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's not a whole lot of options, to be honest.
That's the one thing that makes sense. Hit and roll and see if you can find that perfect lineup there. It's the only thing I see to execute that plan.
I guess they're going for a draw here, though.
Yeah.
Nog een bekken. Ja.
Which also isn't terrible, but it's got to be in a good spot.
A drop basically says, I'm going to assume that you guys, your opponent, you're going to make a mistake, not being able to take it out, do something. Yeah, to be honest, indeed, the hit and roll could have been a tricky one. Imagine if you miss it and you roll out, it's GG. And with a draw, you still have a fighting chance.
So I've got to make sure this one is second shot. That's first and foremost. Or first and foremost that it's in the house.
Yeah. Oh,
this one is great. Wow. That's
freeze.
not quite a freeze, but that's a great stone there from Adrian.
Yeah, the way it's kind of semi-tucked there. Well, semi is being very gentle.
That's a
Good.
I would try to take it out. I mean, there's still enough reds exposed to try it.
yeah. I think Quinton is looking at like how much that yellow is in the way and like, but they don't have to get rid of both.
No.
Just one to make sure that's yeah.
Remember when we said it's a very nice center guard, but it's going to bug you all the way down to the last level? There it is.
Yep.
There it is, protecting the one thing you don't want to have protected.
It's a teachable moment for Quinton is that when you have a big lead, you don't want to guard. You throw stuff away, throw it in the house. You just don't want cards.
Iets gezachter, Smit. Ja, oké.
Now this don't conceal the deal here, John.
Yep.
If red's out, it's GG. And Quinton is the guy that can manage those stones. And Quinton seal the deal here with a final takeout. Feels a bit wide. There is a square jar in there. Tap of yellow is a possibility.
Yeah. Just something. Get something in there. Count out one of the yellows. There we go. One of the reds. There you go.
That works. And that is exactly how you win a game as unpredictable as a Rammsteen versus Tsmerig Logsken game with an unpredictable, excellent
Yeah.
kind of draw. I don't know if there's a kind of official term for a stone like that, but
I have hit and draw on my scoreboard or on my thing. I counted that as a hit because that's what they were going for. Just the hit off the wrong thing.
yeah, it's not a lost cause for Rammsteen if they find a way to tap red onto yellow and push back yellow. They can score 3.
Dan
And
liggen ze alle 3 vrij.
but then Tsmerig Logsken, they still have a stone after this one. So
Yeah. I mean, if they can get it around just inside part of the nose, then this will come and that'll go off.
Yeah.
They'll sit.
I mean, they'll have to do it. That's the only way to at least have the virtual tie. Any other option will just give him 2 points, and with 2 points, Tsmerig Logsken can just shake hands, like accept the 2-pointer. So they will have to execute this one and then hope for a miss.
Maar de gele moet eruit en de rode moet blijven liggen. Dus dat is... Als ik hem peel is hem eigenlijk ook weg.
He's talking about peeling it out.
Laat de rode proberen, maar...
You're not peeling that yellow out. No.
Please reconsider that.
Please don't. Please don't.
Please come to your senses.
Even I picked against you, and I'm still asking you to do that.
Nog een bekken.
Is this going to be the last stone of the game? If he makes it, for sure we click it as a shot of the match.
Yeah.
But then it will not be over yet. It looks
It's
promising.
got to get around that yellow. It's looking tight.
Ooh, looks promising, John.
Oh, wow.
Gets
But it just over enough.
It's not enough.
No.
Red rolls out. Yellow is sitting second. The game has been played. Basically, you can shake hands. You don't have to throw your last stone anymore.
Ja, nog proberen nog maken, zeker.
They will end in style.
Sowieso niets meer pakken. Hè. Je kunt sowieso niets meer.
There is no real reason why you want to throw it other than you want your final result on the scoreboard and you want to have a full 8-ender instead of having the X slammed on the board.
Hou eens
Well,
op, Koen.
the good thing is they're looking at the opposite side and not coming down here. The most disastrous thing would be to come and do that, and then that would be a tie for 3.
No, No. How can red score 3? They have
Oh, right. It's yeah. Never mind.
there's like
Two.
literally nothing
Yeah,
they
that's
can do
true. There's
wrong.
nothing you can do. Right.
All of a sudden, yellow turns into red. And
Sure.
yeah. So basically, there is like a 0% chance of Rammsteen winning, but they just want to end in style here.
I mean, as a guy who throws fourth, I like it when I get to throw all of my stones in a match. I hate it when I can't. So
Well, if it's for the win. Yep.
So this one is going to be in better than... It's going to be third shot. So that is...
1 red and a handshake here. I really enjoyed watching these teams play against each other. And Rammsteen, I felt like they could have made it more close, especially after that second end. Maybe the second end is going to be the one that will haunt them. But I don't want to take anything away from a well-deserved win for Tsmerig Logsken. I think overall they deserve to win. They were the better team. And as we can see them shake hands, let's
come back in here and yes, I mean that was a great match. That's what we expected between two teams, similar level. We wanted to see this come down to the last few stones, you know. And Tsmerig Logsken, they impressed me for a relatively new team. They stayed within themselves. They tried to play the stuff, the shots that they knew they could make. Quinton made some good decisions. Nothing flashy. So hats off to him. A few teachable moments in there. If you guys are watching this video back, I hope you paid attention to the ones I pointed out. But for the most part, I still think that was a pretty good result for them.
Yeah, Tsmerig Logsken, they take their third win in the group. 6 points. I think they're safe. They are just in calm waters. Solid B team. They are promoted and they established as a solid B team. And I think by the way they play and they make decisions, they will only grow and improve. So I think we can expect a lot from this team in the future. I think we can just assume that they're going to be hanging around in the B and making it difficult for a lot of these teams. Even like established teams like Rammsteen with a big history, they struggle against, let's say, quote-unquote, newcomers from Ghent. So I think for Rammsteen, it's also kind of a moment to think, like, how do we... If we want to be this team that is in B, how do we want to reshape and grow as a team? I think that's kind of a question they ask themselves after each round, but after a game like this, maybe they should ask it again.
Yep. We do have some action still going on the ice. On sheet C, we have Stain Snoopers against Wipe My Ass. Right now, it is 5-4 for Wipe My Ass when Wipe the Ass has the hammer. And as I can see, they are lying 2 in the house. So that one's going to come down to the last little bit as well. But I'm anticipating Wipe My Ass victory there.
Yeah.
But we have had a long day. We've curled ourselves. Now we've broadcast. We want to thank everybody who voted in the poll, who watched us. You know, we had a good time doing this stuff. We hope you enjoyed yourselves too. Don't forget to click the likes up. The thumbs up button, the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Consider joining its membership. You get some nice little perks. But otherwise, we just enjoyed having you here and doing this. We are going to say goodbye now.
Bye-bye.